This is Chance for Chance TV. I'm here with beautiful Nikki Pattinson, like Robert Pattinson, right?
Oh, just $2 behind him.
Now, one of the greatest successes I've ever heard is your whole story.
We bought a little cookie stall, a little biscuit stall in a covered market. I don't know if that actually computes in the US. I don't know if you actually have covered markets in the way that we used to do. But we created something that was so magnetic and such an amazing experience.
But it was $1,500 a week.
$1,500 a week.
Took $55,000
a week within 2 years. Within 2 years, all in 50 pences. That was hard work. 20
yeah,
years.
it added up those pences, rooms full of them.
Oh my God, yeah.
Was there a mindset of, okay, here's our strategy, or was it just be the best, be there on time? And
no, I think that all the best things really do come from an intuition, from your heart. And if you imagine, in those days, it were Maggie Thatcher's years, Maggie our
90% tax.
Yeah, 90% tax. And if you were a single parent or a low-income family, there was no value to you. It looked like we were selling cookies and cakes, but in actual fact, we were selling validation and belonging.
So it was really behind that, the feeling of family, warmth, the acceptance, validation, which is priceless. So I guess that's why $55,000.
$55,000 a week.
Look for Chance's cookies in New York coming soon.
Not baked by me.
No, I'll put Oreos and I'll just say, I love you, buy my Oreos.
But that's what we did. It was just Cadbury's and Marks and Spencer's re-wrapped with our branding.
Marks and Sparks.
Marks and Sparks.
Yeah, I lived in England for a while.
I'm posh.
Okay, you know what you're doing. Now, also, like on a grander scale, that was your personal endeavor. The makeup. What I read that you did with the makeup line, this small little line trying to compete with the Revlons and the Maybellines and the $800 million budgets for advertising.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
They were more positioned for the Christian Dior's and the Macs and the Estee Lauders. Again, it's really simple. You walk into any makeup counter, anywhere, any makeup store, and people, first of all, you see that the staff aren't connected to themselves. So they might look really beautiful and they're all stood there going like this.
Mannequins.
Mannequins, yeah. And when you walk anywhere near them, there's no emotion, there's no warmth, there's no feeling. You're not connecting to somebody's soul in a very real way. It's not going to be the same thing. You're not going to be able to sell to people and have a real relationship.
It's not the product.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's never the product. But it's like, I just think of it as potted love. You're in there, it's immediate, quick connection. And from that comes everything, because we were selling, I mean literally, 3 times as much as they'd ever sold. But bottom line, I will never forget that night, because all the amazing people that work for that company, I mean literally, there were tears, because we'd created something that had never been there before. Branding doesn't mean what it used to do, because it's just as invisible to us as everything else. So you can have any of the big makeup brands spending whatever they want to spend. It can never compete with, hi, how you doing? Come here, let me just put a little bit of this on you. Oh my God, you look amazing. Seriously, and a bit of kind chat, somewhere to put your kindness, can never compete with a bit of kindness. It's the touching. It's
that's what I want to do.
Because people don't get that. And even in the market stall, we never gave anybody without the change or the biscuits without giving them a little squeeze of the hand. And all the people that came to our makeup brand, the staff were taught always give them a little squeeze or a little hug, because that's what people want. They want some kind of belonging. I come from Northern England, and I was told all my life that my demeanour and my quite deep register voice and my northern accent, that actually Nikki perhaps didn't have the value that somebody who was very academic and a little bit quieter might have had. That was the message I got growing up. But when I started work, my first job was in a shoe shop, and I could sell more shoes at 16 in one day than anybody else could sell in a whole week. I was in my 40s before I realised that actually this isn't normal. This doesn't happen anywhere else.
No, it does not happen. And people take all these courses and they write these online books and all things like that. But it really comes down to what you do, and I think the execution of it. So you can show certain people to a degree, but I think there's something inside where you can do it or you can't.
Yeah, you can teach people to do it, but I think the difference is, I've never read a business book in my life. I'm just finishing my own business book, which of course everybody's going to buy.
She'll hold your hand and
yeah,
give you the book and
absolutely.
take the change.
Yeah, I might throw a chance in as well.
I'll hug you, by the way.
If I do something a little bit different, you can have all your training courses in the whole world. Nothing, absolutely nothing is like going onto those shop floors with those people. I can't understand them if I don't work with them. So I do things a little bit different.
Well, I want to see you in a hairnet though.
Oh yes, I do. Eh? Costs extra. Hairnet costs extra. Yeah, but that's where the joy is, because those people are fascinating, and everybody thinks that the people that change your life are the really famous people. No, I'll tell you what, you get in there with some of the single parents, some of the widows, some of the people that have recovered from being really sick but then had to get a job and they managed to get into retail or into sales. You just spend a day with those people, and I'll tell you what, they are the game changers, and that's why I just love to be around them. Seriously, I just love to be around them.
And I think you absorb it like a sponge, all that from this person, that person, and
everybody's got a story in life, and it's interesting how people don't see the value of their experience, good and bad. My little beautiful little boy, Jackson, my first little baby, went to nursery one day, negligence at nursery, and he died. Shortly after that, my mother died. Shortly after that, well, let's just say, for legal reasons, that the marriage broke up and there was no money left. And I was in like $250,000 worth of debt. And this is going back 15 years, so it's, you know, that was a lot of money. My father died unexpectedly and I lost everything. Devils are quite often angels in disguise, because if all that's thing, although, you know, there's a lot of anger, as I'm sure you can imagine, but now I absolutely thank God all that stuff happened, because I would never be half the person and I wouldn't be going to this amazing place. But you've got to go to that place to learn those things. You can read about it, you can talk about it, you can see it on a film, but until your soul is shattered and you actually know what it feels like to want to put your hand over a naked flame so that your fingers burn, so that you weren't hurt somewhere else.
Are there any little tips aside from just getting right in the field? Are there any, let's say, financial tips or things like that of pitfalls in starting your own business?
Well, financial tips, don't follow me and don't spend all the sodding money, I think is a good tip. But what people tend to do, and it's the same in any kind of business, they say what they think they should say to be professional, but all that does is render them invisible. They have to wake people up. People don't. They just do. They write and say what they think that they should be saying, when in actual fact we're waking people up.
I like that, yeah.
People need to know who you really are, because that's what we're buying. So all the time you need to give people clues as to who you are in reality, and we can't hide behind this big fence of professionalism. It's about real connection now. It's like chance. I don't care what it says on your business card. Who are you? We have a little rule, or anybody that works with me, we have a little rule. If you don't make at least 3 people a day, if we don't put them in a situation that they will never forget you as long as they live, you didn't bloody well get up early enough, because that's actually what life is about.
How can people find you? I know you have a website, and let them know.
Yeah, quite an odd name for a website, but it's Hire, www.hireitsnicky.com. Hire, it's Nikki.com.
You're over the top. You're the real thing.
Hey, over the top, real thing. He said it, absolutely.
It's Nikki Pattinson. I'll set up everything on the website. We are out for Chance TV.